Hey everyone, welcome in. We're back to the weekend. So I'm going to do a reading for all of us for the weekend. Please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. Listen to all your signs. You know, your sun, your moon, your rising, all that good stuff. Let's see if maybe there is a message for you over there, okay? Anyway, I'm here. We're coming up to the weekend. It's a big weekend. A lot of protests going on. Be safe out there. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. All right, let's be kind when we're out there. Okay. All right, but let's see. What does the weekend look like for all of us? As always, I'm going to start with Aries and go around the zodiac wheel and end up there with Pisces. And when I'm all finished, if you guys would like a reading, and you have a question, put it in the chat, and I'd be happy to pull cards when I'm done. All right, but in the meantime, we gotta take care of business here, and business is the collective. All right, welcome in, Gina. Nice to see you. Are you ready for the weekend? I am. I've got a nice weekend planned. There's a little protest going on here where I live. We're a small town, so I think it'll be okay. And then, yeah, I've got, a gathering going on in the evening. So, yeah, good weekend for me already. But let's see what it's going to look like for all of you guys. Grateful, thankful for all of you. All right, starting with my Aries. The cards are shuffled. Let's see what is coming through for the weekend for all of my Aries. First card out for you is the Hierophant coming in reversed. I like this. All right, so listen, some of you are going to want to do what you want to do. All right, there could be a situation that's come up that has left you a little sad because we do have the Five of Cups energy. And this sadness that you're feeling, and this could happen, maybe through the weekend, but I just feel as if, yeah, maybe you gain some freedom, but at what cost? Because I feel like you might be missing someone now that, they're not in your life. Two of Pentacles shows up also for you this weekend, So I think it's just a matter of you trying to balance your emotions and balance this energy that's coming up for you this weekend. But overall, I think, if you do your thing, all right, as the Hierophant reversed asks you to, you'll be okay. But I do feel like there's going to be something weighing on you, a decision that you need to make. I think, you're trying to figure out how to find the balance within your life, now that, rather than sit in this funk energy, all right? So let's get out of there. Hey, you guys, welcome in. Tarot Wings of Light and Perna. Nice to see you guys. It's nice to have you guys coming in. All right, let's move on to my Taurus, see what their weekend looks like. All right, Taurus, we're starting out with the Six of Pentacles coming in reversed. So listen, Taurus, if you can't afford it, don't go, all right? Because I just feel like there is like this need for you to just keep everything in check when it comes to your finances. But the Six of Pentacles coming in reverse can indicate that there's a situation that is a little off, all right? Because we do have the Two of Wands. Maybe you want to go somewhere and you can't go because you can't afford to go this weekend, or maybe you got to work this weekend. I just feel as if, sometimes we have to surrender to the reality of what the weekend is saying. And I feel like this is one of these weekends with the Two of Wands. You really would like to go somewhere, but you've got to make the decision as to whether or not it's practical. And you're a very practical sign. And, if it just doesn't feel like it would be harder to go than to not go, that's why I think you may not go. And, then we have the Strength card coming in reverse, Taurus. So, it's not a weekend where you've got a lot of energy, so maybe just staying home is the best course of action for the weekend for you. All right, moving on to my Gemini. Welcome, June. Hi, AK. Welcome in. No, I haven't done Aquarius. I just started. I am on Gemini. So let's see what's going on for my Geminis. Gemini, we got the Queen of Cups coming in reversed, Page of Cups, and the Judgment card. All right, so listen, there could be, a new love, a new relationship that you are involved with. Maybe you're a little nervous. We have the Queen of Cups energy coming in. Usually, the Queen of Cups is very in control of her emotions. But, you know, I feel like this connection might throw you a little bit. So, yeah, there could be, you know, a new love relationship that develops over the weekend. I like that. It's one of these that it could come out of nowhere, all right? And maybe that's why it throws you because, you know, to have you come in with emotionally, you know, not feeling like yourself. I mean, you know, usually you, Scorpio, I mean, you come in, you're the mysterious one that, you know, has all this elusive energy around, you know, sexual energy. So for you to be rattled by somebody coming into your life, that's kind of exciting, isn't it? But I feel as if, you know, you are at that point where you are ready to start a new cycle, all right? And I think, you know, a fresh new energy coming into your life this weekend is just what you need. All right, that's what I've got for you, Gemini. Oh gosh, maybe it's a Scorpio because I just started talking all about Scorpio. Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio because this is a Gemini read. I went right to Scorpio. All right, no mistakes here. So yeah, I caught that. So it could be a Scorpio that's coming through. Maybe that's what's making you so nervous. Anyway, nerves are high for the Gemini clan this week. All right, let's see what's going on for my Cancer. Cancer, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. All right, so listen, I think you're giving up on a situation that's not like working for you. All right, Cancer. I mean, when we have the Seven of Pentacles, I mean, you planted these seeds and they're not growing. All right, so, you know, you may begin the weekend feeling like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to put any more energy into, you know, fill in that blank. You know, this is great because I feel like it frees you up a little bit. I mean, here we have the Nine of Cups coming in. This is a wish being granted. You know, I just think that, you know, by the end of the weekend, don't go backwards and kind of, you know, regret what it is that you did in giving this up because, you know, we have the Ten of Wands and it's just like you're carrying a lot of baggage, you know, don't feel guilty that, you know, it didn't make it, it didn't work out. Move past it, you know, because I feel like this Nine of Cups says something really good's about to hit. You know, and I feel like a lot of what hasn't worked in the past is going away. You know, and I think, you know, what you need to let go of is all the baggage and just believe that something really good is coming your way. All right, Cancer, so that's what I've got for you. Hey everyone, welcome in. Foxy loves Bushka. Oh my goodness. Welcome in. You're number one, now third. All right, well, I don't know what that means. Anyway, welcome in all you guys. I am doing a weekend reading for everyone. I just finished Cancer. So I'm going to move on to my Leos. And when I'm finished, I am happy to pull cards for all of you guys in the chat. You know, so take what works, leave what doesn't. If you want me to pull a card for you, stick around. If you don't want to stick around, come back. You know, because I usually try to address all of the questions that do come up. I don't have that many people in my chat, so I can do that. And I just I really like to try to get everybody who is looking for a little read, a quick read, maybe just some advice, that they get it through the cards. All right, so stick around for that at the end. All right, let's move on to my Leos. Leo, what does the weekend look like for you? We've got the Nine of Pentacles coming in reverse. All right, so you know, keep your hands in your pockets because if you can't afford it, you know, don't go spending your money. All right, because this shows a little bit of instability when it comes to our finances. And it can also indicate a little bit of like codependency, you needing to kind of grab onto someone or something, you know, because for whatever reason, you don't want to be alone. I mean, for some of you, you might feel that way. Temperance card is coming in reverse. Again, I just feel as if you've got to have a little bit more patience this weekend, all right? You know, if things aren't working out for you and you can't do everything you want to do and you're trying to find somebody to do it with you and it's just not happening, you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes, all right? You got to do it on your own if you really want to go. But I see a lot of you, you know, working this weekend, all right? Because we do have the Knight of Pentacles coming up, and this is somebody who, you know, if you've got grunt work to do, paperwork you got to get in before the week starts, you know. I feel like a lot of you Leos are going to be, you know, tapping into some work. And it could even be work around the house. I mean, it is the Knight of Pentacles, you know, so maybe, you know, if you aren't going to be able to go out and do anything and spend money and you're just going to have to stay home, getting some work done around the house would be really, really great for you. All right, Leo, so that's what I've got for you. Now, moving on to who's next? Virgo. Virgo, what does your weekend look like? All right, we got the Queen of Pentacles coming in. So a homebody, you know, Virgo, you may want to stay home this weekend. That's okay. You know, I'm a homebody, so I'm always all for staying at home. But I just feel as if, you know, right now, you know, that's where you feel secure. That's where you feel safe. That's where you feel stable. And then we got the Four of Swords energy, all right? So this is that instability. I mean, something recently has happened to you, Virgo, that, you know, you've been a little bit hurt, maybe emotionally, you're not feeling 100%. There could have been a situation that happened between you and a friend. We do have the Three of Cups coming in reverse, or something happened in a social event, you know, that kind of shut you down. So that maybe, you know, you prefer to be home right now, at least until, you know, this kind of emotion or this energy passes between you and whatever happened between someone else or this situation. Yeah, so I think being home is what you need, safe and space, and a safe space where you're comfortable, right? All right, so that's what I've got for you, Virgo. All right, moving on to my Libras. Libra, we're starting out with the Fool card coming in reverse. All right, don't do anything that you can't undo. All right, when we have the Fool card coming in reverse, sometimes we jump the gun and we do something that later on we're like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? And I feel like you could end up in that situation here with this Moon card, where, you know, you went wild, you didn't think it through, and you started something, and now it's like you're deep into it, and now what do? Because you don't want to be here. And I say you don't want to be here because we've got the Nine of Wands coming in reversed. And when it shows up reversed like this, you know, it's usually telling me, oh my gosh, you know, I just need to cut my losses and move on. I don't want to keep doing this. So, yeah, maybe this is a situation where somebody wants to do something with you, you know, or they, you know, they want to start something with you. And I mean, deep down, I mean, you have some deep feelings about all of this, because the Moon card really goes deep, you know, so really tap into that before you do something that you can't undo. So just keep that in mind. All right, Libra. So that's what I've got for you. We have more people coming in. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, I see some questions going on. We'll get to those questions here shortly. All right, so yeah, and if you got a question, people, put it in the chat, you know, and like I say, if you stick around, you know, I'll get to your question. And if you don't want to stick around, come back, because, you know, I try to answer all the questions that are put in the chat. Even if I got to stick around here for a little while, I'm not going anywhere. All right, so let's move on to my Scorpio. Let's see what your weekend looks like. We got the King of Wands coming in reversed, and the Six of Swords, and then we have the Six of Wands. So listen, the Knight of Wands. I don't know if I said king. If it's the Knight of Wands, right? So this is talking in circles. You know, you may be dealing with a situation where, you know, somebody keeps talking in circles, saying they're going to go, they're not going to go. Eventually, I think, you know, you end up leaving them high and dry. So if somebody keeps talking about, you know, oh, I'll go with you, or let's do this, or let's do that, and, you know, I just feel like, you know, they don't really mean it. And I think you move on. I mean, here's the Six of Swords. Rather than deal with somebody who is always, you know, promising this and promising that, never coming through with it, I think you're over it this weekend and you go off on your own. And listen, it ends in the Six of Wands. So, you know, Scorpio, you feel really good. You know, because you finally go away from a situation, you know, and you have a good time. Some of you guys might be going to actually a show, or, you know, maybe this is why they say they're going to come and then they're not going to come. Because I feel as if, you know, you could go to a concert, or, you know, someplace that, you know, you feel like you're seen, you're doing your thing, and you feel good, you know. So I think you pull out a good weekend for yourself, all right, and forget the other person, you know, because, you know, why waste your time, right, Scorpio? All right, move on to my Sagittarius. What does it look like for you, Saggies? We starting out with the Seven of Swords reversed. Uh-oh. You know, be careful of this energy, because with the Seven of Swords, I feel as if somebody could be very deceptive around you. And then we've got the Four of Pentacles, all right? So now I'm just wondering, you know, Sagittarius, if you put yourself in a crowd, watch your purse, all right? Here she's holding on to her purse, you know, before she gets into the city. I just get a bad vibe with the Seven of Swords and you in some big, you know, cluster of people. And, you know, there are a lot of protests going on. So be very, very careful, all right? Let's stay really safe when we're out there among others. And then we have the Hermit card coming in reverse. I mean, this might be one of these things, you know, where you really needed to get yourself out there. You know, but at the same time, I think it, you know, don't feel bad if you decide that, you know, rather than go to this event or do this thing, that you stay home. All right, because the Hermit reversed is also asking you, maybe you need to take some space for yourself and not go. Especially if you get a feeling, all right? If you get that feeling, trust it. All right, Sag, so that's what I've got for you for this weekend. All right, moving on to my Capricorns. Almost done, you guys. Welcome in. It's nice to see everybody in the chat room. All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on for you this weekend. We've got the Page of Swords coming in reversed. There could be somebody, Capricorn, who's kind of stalking you online. I got the stalker vibe with the Page of Swords. This is usually somebody who, is kind of checking you on your social media, your, all of your accounts, things like that. There could be somebody. But there's also a situation that I think, you're really hoping is going to come through. Listen, if it doesn't come through, because we have the Page of Swords coming in reverse. This could be a message about, here she's got this book, she's got these great ideas, it's like it usually can, indicate maybe starting school or a workshop or a project that you really, really can get behind. And, it's something you really want. And, if there is like a kink or a holdup or something, I feel like, with the Seven of Wands coming in with this weekend, maybe what you need to do is, kind of find your space and kind of figure out what you can do, to, make this happen for you. All right. So I feel like you're going to formulate a plan. All right. Because the Seven of Wands, this is you sticking up for yourself. And if you didn't get a position or you didn't get to go on something or you didn't get, into the school you wanted, I feel as if, somehow you're going to stick up for yourself and come up with some kind of a plan. All right, Capricorn. So that's what I got for some of you. Hey, baby girl, welcome in. S.J. Farber. Vipin, purposely liberating in peace with Sirja. Wow, that's a mouthful. All right, listen, I'm almost done here. I'm going to do Aquarius and Pisces, and then I'm going to turn my attention to all of you in the chat, all right? And then we'll start hitting all of these questions that you guys have put in there. So get them in there, so because I'm going to roll back the chat and start with the first one and then go all the way down. But let me finish here because I only got a couple more, and then we'll get going. All right, Aquarius. What's coming up for you? We got the Ace of Pentacles coming in reversed. So, maybe there was an opportunity or a situation you were hoping was going to come through this weekend, and it doesn't. All right, because we have there is this shutdown of communication. Maybe a big argument happens. Maybe you guys were all going to go somewhere. I mean, it's just a very tumultuous weekend, when it comes to our energies. And with the Ace of Pentacles coming in reverse, I just feel as if, there was something that you were trying to get started, but there could have been some conflict, maybe everybody wasn't on the same page and it ends up in a big argument. So Aquarius, just kind of keep in mind, that tempers could flare this weekend, especially over money or anything that, you are involved with that, requires you working with other people. All right, Aquarius, so just keep that in mind. All right, Pisces, last but not least, what do we have for you? We have the Ace of Cups. Now, that's lovely. So we got you coming in with the energy of love, and then we have the Chariot coming in reversed, and then we have the King of Swords. So, well, when we start to see the other cards, I got to wonder about this Ace of Cups. All right, so there is somebody who I think, you are very interested in, or maybe they're interested in you, but he's the King of Swords, all right? So I get like bad boy kind of energy. All right, and then we got the Chariot also coming in reverse. So I just feel like this person, they put a block into the whole weekend. Maybe, they throw a monkey wrench in. You had these plans to do something, and now they decide, no, we're not going to do that. Because the King of Swords coming in reverse is not an easy person to get along with. And sometimes they can have a very sharp tongue. So, I just feel like, this person here, this King of Swords with this Chariot coming in reverse could really, hold up what could have been a really great weekend. I don't know how you can recover for something like this. I mean, and for some of you Pisces with that Chariot coming in reversed, I mean, be careful of, you know, travel. Travel could be really, really stressful. And if you're going out with this guy and he's grumpy, oh my gosh, and now you're stuck in traffic. You know, I hope you can figure out what you can do to entertain him, because I just feel as if, you know, you are dealing with a very difficult energy this weekend. But listen, the love is there and love is love. So who am I, you know, to say anything? You're just going to have to figure out, all right? You know, and just make sure that, you know, when you're traveling that, you know, you can prepare for anything that might happen, because the Chariot coming in reverse sometimes can bring, you know, just a lot of stress getting from point A to point B. Anyway, that's the weekend for all of us, quickly. So yeah, you know, take what works, leave what doesn't. Check all your signs and see if maybe there's a message in the other signs, because the one sign didn't resonate, but that one did. You know how that works. Anyway, it's nice to see all of you guys in the chat. Welcome in. Thanks for the likes, the shares, the comments. Now that we've completed all of the signs, Aries through Pisces, I'm turning my attention to the chat room, and we're going to read cards. All right, so we're going to roll back the chat. I got my phone, which is more up to date, and then I've got the chat that I can roll back, and let's go back and see where the first question starts. Let me burn some cedar here. Welcome in, everyone. It's nice to see you guys. That was fun for the weekend. I hope you guys are all ready for a good weekend. Anyway, a little bit of smudge for all of us. Cleanse the energy, cleanse the space. Get it all ready. Should we continue with the lighterseers tarot for all of you guys? Sure, why not? All right, let's see what's going through. Foxy, you were here at the very beginning. I don't know if you're here or you're not here. Anyway, Esmeralda, welcome in. Vipin Telly, I have a question: when I will meet my life partner. He's single. All right, let's find out. Let's see what the cards have to say for Vipin. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend Vipin here. I'd like to know, when is there ever going to meet their life partner? Right now, they are currently single. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Vipin. We're all engaged now. Now we're all like invested in this relationship for your future. All right, listen, I feel like you're going to meet him at work, all right? We've got the Six of Pentacles coming in. A lot of times when I see the energy of the Pentacles, you know, it kind of indicates probably at work, you'll probably meet them. I think it'll be a very balanced relationship when you finally do. And the answer is yes, Vipin. I do definitely see that you will meet somebody. As to when, who knows? I mean, all I've got is the number 6. So it could be 6 weeks, 6 days, 6 months, 6 years, who knows? But there's definitely someone. Oh, you're a Capricorn. Yeah, but there is someone coming in for you. So good for you. All right, who else? Evelyn, welcome in. Am I going on a foreign travel in August? All right, well, let's find out, Evelyn. Are you going traveling? I would love to go traveling this summer, but I can't. And, you know, at least I can't go far. I can't make really big plans because I'm on jury duty. Oh, my gosh. All summer, 3 months. That's too much. All right, Evelyn, let's find out if you are going to travel to some foreign lands. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend Evelyn. Evelyn would just like to know if she's traveling. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Evelyn. All right, listen, Evelyn, we got the 4 of Wands. You know you are, you know, and I think you're going to have a really, really great time, because the 4 of Wands is like going through a portal, you know, it's seeing new things, it's new doors opening. It's just really a great time. So the answer is yes, Evelyn. I definitely feel like you are going to be traveling to a foreign land, and you're going to have a great time at that. So good for you. Lauren E. Christine, how are you? Can I see the energy, Berto? What does Berto think about Christine? All right, let's find out. Grateful, thankful. Inquiring minds want to know about Berto's feelings towards Christine. How is everyone today? Are you guys ready for the weekend? I mean, it finally feels like summer. So happy about that. Oh, it's nice to meet you too, Vipin. Welcome in. All right, let's see. Lauren, we're trying to find out about Berto. What does Berto think about Christine? We'll start there and then we'll go from there. Welcome in, you guys. All right, listen, Berto thinks that one day we could get married. Very serious energy. This is a Hierophant. When we have the Hierophant energy coming in a relationship, you know, that's telling me two people are aligning, you know, under a big umbrella, a spiritual umbrella. So yeah, I think he has very, very strong feelings. Did Berto ask Kristen to come back? You know, yes, I do get a yes. You know, listen, this is happiness all the way around. You know, I mean, this is meant to be as far as I can see. So, you know, if the energy's so aligned that way, it's a good connection. I'm a dog too. Welcome in. We got us a Leo. Welcome, Leo. Rose. Oh, Rose would like a card pull. All right, Rose, I hope you're still here. Grateful, thankful. She's new to the chat. Welcome in. It's nice to have you in, Rose. It's nice to all the new people coming in. Grateful, thankful. Don't forget to hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help me out, grow my channel a little bit. But let's find out, Rose. I'm going to pull a card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend Rose. All right, Rose. This card's for you. We have the Nine of Pentacles coming up. Be very careful with your finances because I'm sensing instability with this Nine of Pentacles. It can also talk about codependency, you know, because when we don't have enough money, who do we run to, you know, to help us out? So be careful of codependency and overspending, you know. It's just like impulsive buying. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Keep your hands in your pocket. Let's get one more card for you, Rose. Eight of Pentacles. You know, I feel as if there is something that you can do, you know, that you are very good at, you know, because if, you know, you are in a position where you don't have enough money, Rose, there's something you do, a craft, something that you are skilled at, something that you have learned, that if you put it to work could really pull you out of that. And it could turn this into a real great Nine of Pentacles for you. So yeah, get to work, Rose. There's something you do that's going to make you money. All right, so tap into that. All right, welcome in, you guys. People are still coming into the chat. That's nice. All right, let's move in. And let's see, where was I with Rose? Let's find out who was after Rose. Gina. Let's see, Gina, do you have a message? The cool guy. Pippin. Sandia, you'd like to have a health guidance. All right. All right, I know I'm not saying your name right. All right, but it's Sandhya Viswanath. Let's pull a card on your health. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Sandhya Viswanath for her health. Or his, I don't know, you know, for their health. We'll just use their health. Hi, Gina. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're still here. All right, let's see. Sandhya, let's get a card out. This card wants to come out. Knight of Wands. Listen, you know, if somebody is trying to tell you what to do, you need to listen to what you want to do, especially when it comes to your health. Because I just feel as if there is somebody around you that, you know, they're not supportive. I mean, the King of Wands, when he comes up reverse, this is somebody who says they're going to help, you know, oh, sure, I'll take the garbage out, and then they never take the garbage out. This is somebody who says, oh, don't worry, I'll be there, you know, you can count on me, and then they're not there. And I feel like there is somebody around you that is that way. So, you know, do whatever you have to do to feed support to you. And if anybody is not supporting you, then I think you need to start there. And remove that energy however best you can. All right, so that's what I got for you, Sandhya. All right, let's see who else. Vipin, Vipin, did I already pull your birthday? I already pulled a card. I pulled it. You know, and I did see a life partner for you. Hey, baby girl, purposely liberating in peace with Surya. It's nice to be back. I've been trying to come back pretty regularly. I mean, I usually show up Sunday, Monday. I mean, this week it'll probably be on Monday because I'm busy this weekend. So I know I'm tied up on Sunday. And then I try to come in Thursday or Friday to do a weekend read. And I'm trying to come in another day. But, you know, sometimes life just gets in the way. I didn't think I was as busy as I am. But anyway, I'll try to come on here more. I'm just trying to build this first, you know. So this is how I'm building it. All right, let's see who's next. Baby girl, you need clarity. You've met someone upon releasing your toxic ex, and it's something that sort of just happened. And the connection is incredibly strong. Is it real or a front? Well, baby girl, let's find out. Is it real or is it front? What's his name? Mario. All right, baby girl, we're looking at this connection. We need to know if it's the real deal or it's just, you know, one of these things that's just going to pass in time. What's the deal with Mario? Grateful, thankful for the messages for baby girl. All right, let's see, baby girl. You ready? All right, listen, I feel like, you know, the connection is definitely real. All right, we have the Six of Cups. So, you know, it just feels like you've known this person forever. And, you know, there's a lot of good memories. You probably had a past life with this person. However, you know, we do have the Five of Swords. I do feel as if, you know, as this develops, there's going to be a lot more argument. I just get the sense that he might try to demand his way. He wants to have the last word. So just be careful of that energy. But yeah, the connection is definitely real. You know, but that's to me the one flaw. I mean, this is what came out for you. So just be careful of that, you know, overbearing type of energy that could come up with them, because that would make you leaving feeling a little bad, because you don't want to be with someone who likes to fight a lot. And I just see there could be fighting between you. All right, so just take that with a grain of salt, huh? All right, let's see who's next. Devante, will you reconcile with Aya? I don't know. Let's find out. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Devante. Wants to know whether or not they will reconcile with Aya. Aya, I don't know. You know the person though, don't you, universe? All right, let's find out. Is there going to be a reconciliation for Devante with this person? Grateful, thankful for the messages. You know, I do feel like there could be one. You know, but look at her, you know, she's over here feeling like, you know, she's not being addressed or taken care of. She's bored. You know, so, I mean, inject some life into this, you know, but definitely she's around, all right? So there is definitely room for reconciliation, all right? But yeah, inject some life into it, all right, Devante? It'll make all the difference in the world. S.J. Farber, welcome in. Always been curious where the meanings of the cards come from. Ancient, modern. They've been around a long time. I want to say they have been around since about the 1600s. I mean, they've been around a long, long time. But I don't know the full history of the cards. But I just tried to throw and learn the cards as best I can. I've been throwing cards for a long, long time. Ever since I was a young girl, I've been interested in tarot. And I'm an old lady now, so long time. All right, let's find out. Trishna, you want to know whether or not you can get admission into Ravenshaw University. Grateful, thankful for Trishna. Trying to find out whether or not she's going to end up at the university. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Trishna. Will there be an admission for her? Grateful, thankful. All right. You ready, Trishna? Let's find out. Let's find out. All right, listen. No, I don't see it happening. Look at that. Double confirmation that no, I just don't see it's going to happen. And the Two of Wands coming in reverse. It's almost like you scratch your head because you didn't get in. But I do see you going somewhere else, you know. I mean, there is movement towards something. Let's get one more card. The Hanged Man. It's just you're going to have to decide what's next, but I don't see you getting in. Sorry, I got to call it like I see it, Trishna. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. You need to move. I see a move. Well, I do see you moving. That chariot just shows that you're moving. It's just there's confusion right now as to what's next. So I definitely see confusion for you, Tia. Let's find out. Any guidance about moving forward with Tia? I'm sorry you lost your grandson. That's hard. All right, grateful, thankful for a message for Tia. I see you moving. Listen, you know, things are going to get better, all right? The Four of Wands, this is, you know, people are happy. They're celebrating. And I feel like, you know, wherever you go, you're going to be very well received as well, Tia, you know. So, you know, but listen, you got to be a little patient because I'm sensing some impatience with you. And you might be dealing with somebody who is a little hard to deal with, you know. The King of Cups coming in reversed. I mean, this is somebody who emotionally might really need you. They can't be, they're struggling. I mean, this is sad energy. So there could be somebody you were dealing with that makes it even harder to make these moves. But I definitely see you making a new move. Things will start to unfold to you. And here we have the Queen of Swords. You've just got to be very clear and direct, all right? That's the energy of the Queen of Swords. And if you got to make some moves, and you've got this difficult person having to do it, don't be afraid to grab the reins and take charge. And, because I feel like with you leading the way, things will be okay. All right, Tia, that's what I've got for you. Yeah, Trishna, we didn't see you getting in. Amy, welcome in. Vipin, I've already given you your answer. I said yes, you were going to meet someone, probably at work. Gina, Rhea, welcome in, Rhea. Tynell, is that how we say it? What do I see for life? Live life or general? We'll just do it general, right? For Boxley. Tyneal Boxley. I hope I'm saying that right. Tyneal, is that you? Tyneal, are you still out there? So if you're just coming in, just know that I've gone back to the top of the chat and I'm just going down and I'm just going one by one, putting in, hitting some cards for all of the questions. So if you want me to pull a card, get in line. I'm not going anywhere. I'm pretty much here. So I'm happy to stick around for a while and get through these questions for you guys. All right. Who was I reading for? Tynell. Boxley. What do I see for you? A general reading for you. Tyneal Boxley. Grateful, thankful for the messages. All right, listen, what I see for you, general message, we have the Knight of Swords. So I feel like, if there's something you want, you got to go after it, all right? The Knight of Swords, goes after what they want. So if there is something that you really want, shoot your arrow and then see where it goes. But don't be afraid to go after something that you really want. Now, this could be money. Maybe you want to raise. Maybe you need to get more money. I feel like if you put yourself out there and go after it, you're going to get it. All right. So don't be afraid to assert yourself. All right, Tyneal. All right. Welcome in, Allison. Love from Northern Ireland. All right, Allison, let's get you a card from Northern Ireland. Grateful, thankful to my Irish friend over here, Allison. Allison Margaret, what can you tell me? One card for Allison. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Allison Margaret. All the way over there in Ireland. What time is it in Ireland? It's what time here? It's just about 11 o'clock over here in the morning. All right, Allison, let's find out what's going on with you. We get a card for you. We have the Devil coming in reverse. I like this because I feel as if you are breaking something that has not been good for you, whether it was a relationship or an addiction or a habit or a bad job. The fact that this Devil has come up reverse for you, Allison, tells me that you are on your way to, really taking care of yourself. And, because the Devil is very self-imposed energy. We hang on to it as long as we choose to. And I feel like you have chosen to let go of something that had a hold on you. And here's the Star card coming in next to it. When it gets really, really hard, have faith. You're going to get through this. You really are, all right? That Star card shows a lot of promise and a wish come through. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Allison Margaret, over there in Ireland. All right, let's see. Trishna, we already saw that you were not going to get admission into Ravenshaw. Gina, how are you? Eric, will Eric ask you to marry him soon? Oh, big question. All right, let's find out. See, now we're all invested. So now we all need to know whether or not Eric is going to ask you to marry you soon. See how that works? Anyway, let's find out, Gina, whether or not Eric is going to ask you to marry him soon. Let's find out what comes out for you. You know what? I don't see that happening. 10 of Cups coming in reversed, and this is a marriage card. So, I just don't see it happening, all right? And, and that's not to say it can't happen down the road, but right now, the answer is no. All right, moving forward. I mean, really, that's the name. Reached out to you recently. Is he planning on surprising you or getting back together? Let's find out about moving forward. Grateful, thankful for the messages for moving forward. What's going on for moving forward? What's going on with the first love? I mean, what's the plans with the first love coming back? What's going on with this? All right, the first love. Yeah, they want another opportunity, another chance, a new start in some direction. So, yeah, they're not coming back because they want to go home. You know, I almost feel as if they're sorry. It's just funny because I was like, I'm sorry, you know, because a lot of times with the Five of Swords, it's an energy of argument and fighting. And with it coming up, that was the first thing I got. So, yeah, they're definitely back because they want to move forward. They want to get back together. Purposely liberating in peace. You're currently in separation. You want to know if you have a chance for long-term commitment in the near future. Well, if you're in separation, that's going to be hard. Hey, you guys, welcome in. You guys are really coming through in the chat. Let's find out, okay? Because my feeling is that if, you know, you want to know if you have a chance for long-term commitment, let's find out. You know, I don't know, because here with the Four of Cups, you know, the standards, you know, she's not really happy or excited about it. So, you know, there's a chance. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes either. All right. But if you do, I mean, something's got to, you know, something's got to step up to the plate, because this is somebody not very happy in the relationship or the situation. All right. All right, Eternal Prince. I'm doing really great, Eternal Prince. How are you? All right, let's see, Eternal Prince. Pulling a card for you. One card for Eternal Prince. Grateful, thankful. Trishna, you keep coming on here, and I've already pulled a card for you, and the answer is no. And I'm not going to pull another card to change that reading. So I don't see you getting admission. So you can quit asking. All right, Eternal Prince. Can I pull a card for you? Let's pull a card for Eternal Prince. Grateful, thankful for the messages for the Eternal Prince. All right, let's find out what's going on for you, Eternal Prince. One card for you. Grateful, thankful for your messages. We've got the Seven of Wands. Don't let anybody pop your bubble. All right, because here we see this wand trying to penetrate this space that you're in. I feel as if sometimes, you know, people might, you know, question you, or, you know, just, you know, try to go up against you. All right, just know that, you know, you can speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up, you know, and hold your ground and protect yourself. So there might be a situation you're dealing with that you need to protect yourself, because here, Four of Pentacles. You know, you're not ready to open up. Maybe somebody is trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. You know, so it's okay to remain really closed. And like I said, protect yourself. All right, so that's what I got for you, the Prince. All right, let's see who else. Holy cow. I'm losing my place here. Let's find out if I can find where I was. So listen, you guys, I don't know where I've been. There's all kinds of questions coming through, and I have just lost my place. So I'm just going to start from where I'm at, okay? And my apologies to you guys if I missed your question. All right, Rena, how are you? Can you tell you got married in this year or not? Rena, let's find out if you're going to get married this year or not. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Rena. Is she going to get married this year or not? Yeah, my chat keeps jumping up and down, so I've lost my place. All right, Rena, let's find out if you're getting married. All right. No, I don't see you getting married this year. Not this year, Rena. Nope, not this year. Oh. Is it Neha? Is that how I say your name? S-N-E-H-A. Let's see if you're going to meet your soulmate. All right, I don't know whether, but you know who I'm talking about, right? Sneha. When are you going to meet your soulmate? Let's see if we can get a read on that. Grateful, thankful for Neha. Oh, look, I see you remaining single for a while. You're carrying a lot of baggage, you know, and until you release a lot of this baggage, I don't feel like you're going to meet anybody. So that Nine of Pentacles is definitely the card of somebody who is going to remain single for a while. All right, but yeah, let's work on letting go of some of that baggage, because I feel like you're going to miss an opportunity to finally meet someone if you continue to carry it with you. All right, Shy Gun, how are you? Can I please tell you something about Lewis? Let's find out something about Lewis for Shy Gun. Grateful, thankful for the messages. For Shy Gun, what can I tell Shy Gun about Lewis? Grateful, thankful. What can I tell Shy Gun about Lewis? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Shy Gun. All right, listen, you know, this is a good time. This is the King of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. This is somebody who likes to go places. They like to have a good time. They like to be partying. They, you know, sometimes when the Knight of Wands shows up, that's when the party finally starts. This is a very bright energy. So I like the energy of Lewis, and I think if you want to have fun, you know, this is the person to have fun with. Now, this is not a serious energy. This is just one of somebody who really likes to have a good time. So whatever you do, don't dim their shine. All right? So that's what I've got for you, Shy Gun, about Lewis. All right, let's see. Who else? Let's see. Perna, let's get an angel guidance card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Perna. I think I'm going to switch decks. Let me get this for you, Perna, and then I think I'm going to switch decks. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Perna. Angel message for Perna. Let's see what comes out for you, Perna. All right, listen, we got the Nine of Wands. There's a situation you are dealing with that you may need to just, you know, call it quits. And it's something that I think you put a lot of energy into trying to make it work. You've gone through a lot. You've gotten beat up in it. You've been around the block in this situation. But when it comes up in the Nine of Wands, you know, Perna, I think it's time to finally say, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. All right, so that's what I've got for you. All right, let's see. See, it keeps going back. Whoa, there's a whole bunch of you guys in here. Welcome in, you guys. All right, let's see. I'm going to randomly start picking, you know, questions because there's so many questions out there. All right, let's see. Who haven't I read for? Sim. I'm good, Sim. How are you? There's a guy on your mind you're in love with. We had some arguments and he blocked you. Oh, no. And today is my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Sim. I'm glad I picked you. Can I please see what's coming up in the near future? I'm glad he called you to wish you a happy birthday. That means at least he's got a conscience, right? All right, let's see what's coming up for the birthday person. We got Sim here. Happy birthday to Sim. What's coming up for you? All right, listen, we got the Two of Pentacles coming in reverse to the Six of Wands. All right, look, you know, I mean, I think in the near future right now, there's this need to kind of, you know, get real, all right? Because when we have the Two of Pentacles coming in reverse, it's about no longer pretending. And I feel like, you know, there's a good outcome to this, you know. So if it has to do, you know, with you and this guy, I feel like there could be a very good outcome. Yeah, I do feel like it's about the two of you. I just feel as if, you know, you guys can't pretend anymore, you know. So it's like, be honest with your feelings, be honest with how you feel, just be honest across the board. And I think you will have victory between you and this person. That's what I feel about this situation, Sim, for your birthday. But happy birthday. All right, let's see. Who else is out there? Gosh, Lee, man, the chat is just really... Let me get caught up here. I'm way behind. Holy cow. All right, let's see. Toxica. You're unsure of your current relationship, but often think of Dan. All right. Let's see, what's the story with Dan? Why do you keep thinking about Dan? Maybe Dan holds all those characteristics that you want in someone. What is it about Dan that Toxica always thinks about? What is it about? Oh, listen, there's hope there. You know, listen, if, if this is somebody you were really interested in, I would reach out. You know, if you keep thinking about Dan, why not, say, send a, hey, Dan, how are you? Just been on my mind, and I think something really good could come of this. Don't discount it, all right? Because I think Dan could be around, all right? Toxica. So reach out. Listen, we're in times now where, if you reach out, it's fine. There's, no ethic, to, male or female or male or female. I mean, just reach out. I think that's what everybody really likes. All right, let's see who else. Let me swing down. Let me get down to the bottom and work backwards. Queen Bean, how are you? How does R feel about you? All right, let's find out. Queen Bean. How does R feel about the Queen Bean? Grateful, thankful for Queen Bean. Grateful, thankful. How does R feel about Queen Bean? Look at that. There's love in the air. All right, there's definitely some feelings, So if you have the same kind of feelings, I don't see why you don't go and follow up behind them, because there's definitely love in the air with R, Queen Bean. I like that for you. Nandita. Love life guidance. Confused and stuck dating. Oh my gosh. I never liked dating. I was never a good dater. Small talk was always hard for me. All right, let's see. Nandita. Nandita, let's find out. Love guidance for you, Nandita. All right, let's find out what's going on for you, Nandita. All right, listen, we got a King of Swords guy, this very serious person here. So, and then we have you and the Eight of Swords energy. I don't know. Are you dealing with somebody who, is pretty, the King of Swords, they're not romantic. They're smart, all right? They're smart. They like to do their thing. They're always right. This is somebody that if you ask them a question, you need to be ready, to hear them out. But, there's all this mental energy that you have around this person. Yeah, they're, I wonder if they're even a little bit manipulative, because this Eight of Swords, and I feel as if that's where you get stuck. Oh. I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to love, you need to be very careful with the people that, you give too much power to. Because, when somebody is really, really smart, they use that to their advantage. And I think that's what really, gets you all stuck. But the Nine of Cups, I see things coming out really good for you, So as a life reading overall, I feel as if in the end you get your wish, whatever that means. That's what I got for you, Nandita. Be careful of that King of Swords, because, oh my gosh, the manipulation. And, I don't know. Let's see. But who else is out there? Let's see. Aditi, Ray, you're a new subscriber. Welcome. I love my new subscribers. Thanks for subscribing. Let's see. Aditi, my boyfriend, I can't even say his name, broke up with you in April. Will he patch up with you? Does he think about you? Well, it's already been a few months. All right, Aditi, let's find out about your ex. All right. Because he's no longer your boyfriend if he's, sorry, I got to give it to you straight here. It's just, this is April, we're already in June. So let's see if he's going to patch things up with you. I just don't feel as if, I feel like you want to patch things up. I don't feel like they want to put any more energy into it. So, I think it's on you. You're the one that wants it because you're still calling him your boyfriend and it's already June, and if he broke up with you and it's over, then there is no relationship, and I feel as if you are the one that is hanging on to it, hoping with hope, but I think he has definitely moved on. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool card, and it's reversed, so this is not wanting a new start with you. All right, so that's what I got for you, Aditi. All right, who else is out there? Isha, does Virgo think of you? Let's find out. Isha, does Virgo think about Isha? Grateful, thankful. Grateful, thankful. I already did an angel guidance card for you, Perna. believe I did. All right, Isha, does Virgo think about you? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Isha. Oh, look, it's 11:11. Magical time. All right, listen. Yes, they do. They think about, you know, saving for a house or, you know, yes, there's definitely, you know, this is a builder. And a Virgo, you know, they are an earth sign. They're very grounded. But here we see someone saving money to, you know, to build, you know, something in the future. So that's a nice connection, Isha. All right, let's see. Who else? Who else is out there? Hi, Karika. Welcome in. Yeah, well, you can go back, Perna, and you can go back and you can listen to it back. I'm not going to do it twice. You can just scroll back and you'll find it. Oh, Sayali, you want to divorce for your wife? Is it possible this year? In which month? I'm Libra. Oh my gosh, Libra. You want to divorce from your wife? Is it possible? Well, anything's possible. And in which month? Well, you know, depends on the divorce and how it goes. So let's find out. You want a divorce? Looking for some details on that. So we've got the 4 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 3 of Cups. You know, I don't know whether it's really going to happen. All right, you say you want a divorce, but I don't see that that's really the decision that you make. You know, so I don't think it's going to happen this year for sure. All right, you may want it, but until you actually file, it's not going to start, and I don't see it happening this year. Shy Gun, is Lewis your soulmate? Well, definitely, because you guys have a really great connection. Where did I get my earrings? Well, these were made by a friend of mine down in Mexico. They are Huichol made by the Huichol Indians. Jaspreet, thanks for being a new subscriber. A new subscriber. What are Alex's feelings and thoughts about you? Let's find out, all right, Jaspreet? Let's find out. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. All right, let's find out Alex's feelings for Jaspreet. How does Alex feel about Jaspreet? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Jaspreet. How does Alex really feel about him? All right, are you ready? Here's the truth. All right, the Queen of Pentacles. I think they see you a little unstable, you know, because usually the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who brings a lot of stability and is very grounded. And you're asking me what he sees about, what he thinks about you, and I think he sees you like that. He does not see you as his wife, if you need to hear that message as well. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Jaspreet. LG, you're not getting a new rented apartment. When will you get it? Oh. All right, let's find out. Let's see if we can get a read on when LG might get a new apartment. Grateful, thankful for the messages for LG. Boy, it's nice to see you guys in the chat. Really active. So much so I can't keep up. All right, LG, let's find out. You know, I do see you getting one. And I think it's going to be one where you're going to feel very, very at home and one that you really, really like. Now, we have the energy of the Empress. It's a number 3. So it could be, you know, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. But I'm feeling probably closer to maybe, you know, between 3 weeks and 3 months. But I think you're going to love the apartment that you finally end up with. All right. So that's the good news. Angela, will you find my life partner while in Wyoming? All right, so that's specific because you must be in Wyoming. So let's find out. Let's find out. Oops, I just lost you. Where were you? All right, Angela, let's find out. Will you meet your life partner while in Wyoming? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Angela. And the answer is you are going to meet somebody, but they're going to be very toxic. And if you do end up with this person, I think, you know, it'll end up in divorce. So be careful in Wyoming that you don't end up with someone who likes to drink, likes to party. You know, they're just like the bad boy type of energy. Because I do see you meeting somebody in Wyoming. But it won't be, it'll be a very, you know, the Devil card is the opposite of the Lover's card. all right? You know, we love what we're not supposed to be doing, right? It's one of these things. And I feel like, you know, this is one of those connections where you shouldn't be with this person, but you can't help but not be with this person. So be careful of that one, all right, Angela? Because, you know, you're in for a ride. Anna, welcome in. Let me give a card for my friend Anna, who always shows up. Grateful, thankful for the energies of Anna. She would like a card. So let me have a card for my friend Anna. Thanks, you guys, for sharing, likes, commenting, subscribing. You know, it really makes me feel good to have my channel growing. And it is growing. So, yeah, thank you for all of that. All right, Anna, let's find out. What's your card today? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Anna. Your card today is the Chariot coming in reversed. You know, so there may be some blocks getting places. Traveling could be really, really difficult. You might have car trouble, Anna. Just, you know, give yourself enough time if you are going places. Because when the Chariot comes in, there's a lot of distractions. And you might have just a lot of distractions keeping you from what you want to do. All right, so when we have the Chariot coming up like that, you know, the main point is to try to stay focused on what it is that we want done and the direction we want to go in. But it will come with some hiccups today, Anna. So that's what I got for you. All right, who's next? Gerline, welcome in. Let's get a general reading for Gerline. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Gerline. They're really right, Angela. Listen, you know, it's the card, it's not me, but be careful of that. Listen, that bad boy energy, we all like that, you know. It's like, ooh, I really shouldn't go out with him, but I'm going to, kind of thing. All right, Gerline, what's going on for you? Looking for a general card for my friend Gerline. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Gerline. All right, listen, we got the High Priestess coming in. So trust your intuition, because I feel as if something's being pointed out to you. All right. And I feel like if you pay attention to your intuition, it's probably already been telling you, follow through on it. You know, the reason why we have, that's the psychic energies that we have is, you know, because it takes care of us. So there's definitely something that is coming through for you. All right, Gerline. You know, Six of Pentacles, it could be around work. I mean, maybe there's an opportunity coming through, you know, but I just feel like, you know, follow through on things. You know, if you just have a feeling that you should go talk to this person, go talk to him, because, you know, there is an opportunity that I think is going to be presented to you, and it's a good one. So maybe you get a new job, maybe a promotion, I don't know, but something good is definitely in the works for you, Gerline. All right, who else is in here? Rhea. What does Dipti think about you? Let's find out, Rhea. Grateful, thankful for my friend Rhea. Let's find out what Dipti thinks about Rhea. Grateful, thankful. All right, Rhea, you already put it in. If you keep putting it in, I'm not going to give you a card. We're going to find out what Dipti thinks about Rhea. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Rhea. All right, listen, Wheel of Fortune coming in reverse, all right? So I don't think he's feeling really good sitting on the fence with you. You know, so you got to be real, all right? Like if you have a crush on someone, you really like someone, and they're not liking you back, you know, you got to pay attention to it. And then, you know, this element of, you know, you can't pretend anymore that the situation is going to work, all right? So I just feel the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Pentacles reverse, that this isn't going to go anywhere with Dipti. You know, that's what I think. Life Katie, welcome in. Vidya from India, welcome. I get a lot of people from India. All right, Life Katie, let's find out. You're going to turn 41 and you're not married. What is my scope of marriage? Well, let's find out. Listen, Lydia, I'm 62 and I'm not married. So, you know, I'm okay for it. But let's find out, what is the scope of marriage for Life Katie? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Life Katie. All right, let's find out. No, I don't see marriage for you. You know, Six of Wands coming in reverse. I just don't see it. I mean, and the King of Pentacles. See, and you know, I feel as if you would, if you did meet someone, you need to be very careful that you don't settle for somebody just to be with them. Because the King of Pentacles, this usually represents like my husband card, you know, like the King and Queens are the wife and the husband of my deck, you know, and him coming in reverse, you know, I just feel like don't settle, all right, because you'll have a lot of regrets if you do. All right, so yeah, and here, Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I think, you know, some of us are okay being on our own and not married. And I think you're one of those people that, you know, marriage isn't just part of, you know, your makeup this lifetime. Angela, 51, not getting married, right? I'm not gonna get married now. I don't mind companionship, you know, hanging out, doing things, but no, I'm good on my own. Kadambari, new subscriber. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Let's see, can I tell you if your ex will come back to you and if we will reconcile? Well, let's find out, Kadambari. Kandambari. I don't know if I'm saying it right. That just sounds good. It sounds like a song. All right, let's find out. Is the ex coming back? Yes or no? Will they reconcile? I don't think they're coming back. We got the Tower, and it is reversed. You know, whenever I get my reverse cards, it usually gives me a no. You know, so I think when it ended, and that was it. So I don't see them coming back. SJ. You're overthinking so much, you don't know if I'm going to end up with my crush or not. All right, well, let's find out, SJ. If it's just a crush, you know, you're not going to end up with them unless we hook up with them, right? So we got to figure out if that's going to happen. Let's find out, SJ, whether or not you're going to end up with your crush. Yes or no? Grateful, thankful for the messages for SJ. Is SJ going to end up with the crush? No, I do not see that happening. I don't see it. So, you know... And, you know, again, if, you know, there's no advancement and it's just from a distance, you know, I mean, you've got to connect. Because if we don't connect, we're never going to have, you know, the relationship happen. But I do not see it with this crush for you, SJ. Yep, Ten of Swords coming out. I think it's over. I think you got to move on. Red Rose, welcome in. Tamena. Is that how I say it? Is it Tamena? Oh, where did you go? See, what happens is things just kind of jump and then I lose you. All right, Red Rose. There you are. All right, Red Rose, let's find out. You would like a general reading for you about your future. Grateful, thankful for the energies of Red Rose. Boy, the cards are just totally falling apart here. All right, let's find out for Tamana. Tamana, is that how you say it? Tamana? I don't know. Red Rose works for me. All right, Red Rose. Let's see. What can you tell me about her future coming in? All right, Queen of Swords coming in reverse. I get, you know, a sense of anger. Anger and disappointment. You know, a situation doesn't come out, doesn't turn out your way. I just feel as if, you know, there's something that, you know, you were really after, or there's just some disappointment. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. It could be around money, a job. So, yeah, you know, I'm just feeling like you coming in as the Queen of Swords reversed. I mean, you're really angry about things. You know, you're really angry that this wish didn't come through and you didn't get the money or you didn't get a raise. What else do we have? Three of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like it's around work. You know, Three of Pentacles coming in reverse like this. You know, it may be one of these things where you might want to think about going off and working for yourself. Especially if, you know, you feel as if you are not being heard or treated well where you are. Because I do get that sense of anger and disappointment and, you know, just frustration. And the Three of Pentacles, when it does show up like this, you know, Red Rose, maybe you're better off just working by yourself. So that's what I've got for you. Let's see, who else? Got so many people coming in. Texas Winnie, like 47. General reading for you. I don't know how to say your name. Texas. I'll call you Texas. All right, let's get a general reading for the guy in green. Texas Winnie. Texas Winnie. I don't know how to say it. All right, let's get a general card for you. Let's see what's coming out for you. All right, listen, we got the Knight of Cups coming in. Dun, da, da, da. I feel like there's going to be an offer of love, or maybe you are going to make an offer of love to someone. This is definitely somebody who's interested in you. I like that. Oh, we have the Magician coming in. I like that even more. So listen, if there is somebody you are really wanting to go out with, or maybe there is somebody who, you know, you don't even realize it, I feel like it's going to happen. I feel like there is going to be a brand new relationship for you. Tejas. All right, I like it, you know, because the Magician, you know, it's like you're shedding an old skin. I mean, we're in the year of the snake, and I just feel as if things are different now. And I feel like if you really want to meet someone, or there's somebody who's really interested in you, it could really be a really great thing. Anyway, I like it for you. I like it for you lots. Season. Will Matt and I be in a serious relationship? Let's find out, Season. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend Season. Thanks for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes. All of the vibes, you guys. Really appreciate it. Right now, we're reading for Season. We need to know whether or not Matt and her, they're going to be in a serious relationship. Like, inquiring minds want to know about Season. Let's find out. All right, let's see. We got the Knight of Wands coming in reverse. No, I don't think it's going to be serious. I think he'll talk a lot and he'll make a lot of promises. But when the Knight of Wands shows in upside down, this is not somebody who wants to get serious. But at the same time, they'll talk in circles and tell you everything that you want to hear. But no, I don't see you and Mike being in a serious relationship. That's what I got for you. All right, Shy Gun, I see you, but I'm trying to get people that I haven't read for. Prashana, will you get into a good university soon? Let's find out, Prashana. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Prashana. Let's find out if she will get into a good university soon. Grateful, thankful for the messages. All right, let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Yes, I do. Look at this. You know, here's a King of Swords. I mean, this is somebody, this is like school at its highest. I think you're going to get into a very, very good school. And I think you're going to get into one where, you know, whatever it is you set out to do. I mean, it's almost like it has like the Ivy League kind of feeling. But yes, I see you getting into a very, very good school. I like that for you. Good for you. Aubrey, will you and your boyfriend be together? Wait, where did you go? Hold on. Just kind of jumped. Forever. Oh my gosh. Aubrey, forever. Forever is a long time. Let's find out. What's the story with you and your boyfriend, Aubrey? Is there longevity? Hi, Jenny's Cozy Corner. Welcome in. All right, Aubrey, let's find out. Will you and your boyfriend be together forever? The big question. Let's find out, Aubrey. All right, Aubrey, you ready? No, I do not feel like the two of you will be there together forever, you know, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of other people that are going to show up. So the answer, Aubrey, is a no. Is a no. Jenny's Cozy Corner would love a reading today. Welcome in. I'll give you a reading and then I'll go to Mata. First, Jenny. We'll go to Jenny first, all right? Grateful, thankful. Yes, I am an honest tarot reader. I gotta call it like I see it. Especially since I don't know who any of you guys are, you know? I mean, I gotta read the cards as the cards come out, you know, because I'm not gonna pretend I know you. All right. Let's find out. Jenny. Jenny would love a reading today. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Jenny. All right, Jenny, listen, you got the Chariot. Now, this has come up for somebody else today. Chariot coming in reverse, all right? Traveling is going to be hard, all right? Getting from point A to point B. There's going to be a lot of distractions. People trying to keep you from doing what you want to do. All right, that's what happens with the Chariot coming in reverse. It can also indicate car trouble. You know, it's just hard to get anything done when the Chariot comes in reverse. And a lot of times it is because of the distractions. So don't pay attention to the distractions and stay focused and see how you can plow through the day. All right, that's what I've got for you, Jenny's Cozy Corner. Yes, Mata. This is a free reading. Mamta, is that how we say it? Mamta Parma. Yeah, I'm just on here just, you know, reading cards because I'm a tarot reader and that's what we should do. I mean, I do. It's more fun. Honestly, it's more fun to read for you guys than it is to do a collective reading or just in reading for Aries or, you know, I mean, because this gets personal, you know, so it's kind of nice. All right, Madma, let's see what's going on in Vinny's life. Currently, he was my boyfriend. What's he thinking about you? All right, let's find out first, Mamta, you know, what he's thinking about you. All right, let's see. Feelings, current feelings. You know, I feel like he does think about you, you know, because we do have the Knight of Cups coming out. But then we have the Sun card coming in reversed. You know, so I think as much as, you know, you guys might think about each other, the truth is that, you know, on the outside it looked good, but it really wasn't a good connection. And then we have the Tower coming in. So if anything, I think he's avoiding any kind of reconnection. But I do think like he does think about it, because here we also have this Four of Cups. You know, we see him sitting here looking at that one cup. But, you know, just be careful, you know, because if you do get back with them, I don't think it'll be good, you know, because you will, on the outside, you know, maybe you think it is, but I just feel as if, and I think he knows that. So this is probably why you guys aren't together right now. Anyway, that's what I got for you, Mamta. All right, Melody Har, welcome in. Do I see you're going to have a good and lucky day today? Let's find out, Melody. Grateful, thankful. Shy gun. I might have broken a heart or two. All right, let's see, Melody. Let's find out. Are you going to have a good day, good lucky day today? Grateful, thankful. Should you buy the lottery ticket? Trying to find out about Melody. What kind of day is Melody going to have? Listen, we got you in the energy of the Three of Wands. You know, positivity breeds positivity. You know, this is definitely a card that talks about that. You know, so here it's like going out and seeking. So I think today you're going to go out and seek only good things, because like I said, this is a card that breeds positivity. So, you know, keep it positive and you'll have a good and lucky day. I like that. Oh, thanks, Mamta. All right, listen, Shy Guy. You want to know what your relationship with your parents improve or go downhill? Let's find out, all right? Because you've hung in there. You've been patient. Oh, and you have an exam. But let's find out first about your parents, all right? Grateful, thankful for Shy Gun. Wants to know about the relationship with their parents. Will it improve or go downhill? Let's talk about the relationship. You know, I don't see it improving. And I feel like it's because people are not looking at options and solutions. So no, I don't see it going well between you and your parents, because you got to be a little bit more open-minded. Everybody needs to be a little open-minded. With the Seven of Cups coming in, it's about having options and choices. And, you know, when we have the Seven of Cups coming in upside down, I feel like they're a little shut down. So watch that, all right, Shy Gun? And good luck with the exam. Let's see who else is in the chat. I've been on here a while. All right, let's see. Season, did I not give you a reading already? Karanami. Let's see. Like 55. Can I know will my connected carry works and what? Oh my gosh. See, like, I don't even know what that means. What are his current feelings? All right, let's go there. Kiranami. Let's find out what current feelings and actions are right now with this connection. Let's go there. Because the whole name thing throws me. Because, oh my gosh. You guys and your names. Holy cow. All right, Karanami. Let's find out. All right, listen, we got the Judgment card coming in reverse. I feel as if, you know, they're done. Not going to give you any more chances. They're moving on. So I don't feel like their feelings are very fond of any kind of renewal. So I feel like, Kranami, it's over. I mean, really, this is somebody who doesn't want to give any more chances. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. All right, listen, I'm going to do just a few more, and then I'm going to pop off because I've been on here quite a while already. Let's find out. SJ. I'm going to you because I can pronounce your name. SJ, what if I manifest? If I manifest, can it happen? Absolutely, SJ. Listen, if you build it, they will come. If you think it, it will happen. If you manifest it, it will be, you know. We can manifest anything we want. Priyanka, can I get best friends forever in June month? My name is Kartika. Let's see, I'm not sure what can you get a best friend forever in June month, but I'm not sure what that means. But let's pull a general card for you, all right, Priyanka? Because I'm not sure what that means. Let's find out. All right, Justice card, you know, so I do feel as if, you know, if you're looking for a connection with friendship, you will find one that's very balanced. Perhaps they're even a lawyer. You know, this is just, you know, a really nice energy if you are looking for a connection, because it is saying, you know, I want to come in and I want things to be fair and balanced. Could be a Libra, whoever this best friend is. But that's the best I can do, not really knowing what the question was. DeWitty. You want to know the current feelings for you? Will he ask me to be his girlfriend? Let's find out what Bargov's current feelings are for DeWitty. Grateful, thankful for the messages for DeWitty. Will he ask you to be his girlfriend? I have no idea. Let's find out. All right, DeWitty, here's your answer. As coming from the tarot, the answer is no. I don't feel like you will. You know, and, you know, here's the thing, you know, you want to, you know, why don't you ask him out? Because he's not going to ask you out. So he's not really very interested. So the answer to you is no, Priyanka, or DeWitty. Oh my gosh, look at you guys. You keep coming in the chat. All right, let's see who else. Let's see, one more. Abigail. Will Luis Delgado regret leaving the relationship? Let's find out. All right, Abigail, grateful, thankful for the messages. For Abigail, will Luis regret leaving the relationship? Grateful, thankful. All right, let's see, Abigail. You ready? All right, let's find out. All right, listen, Page of Cups. No. You know, the answer is he doesn't regret leaving it. You know, he never was really interested. I mean, this is the Page of Cups. You know, it's reversed. You know, he didn't really, it wasn't for him. So the answer is no. He had no regrets. None at all. Mixani. Let's see, what's your question? Current feelings of Rishab from Mixani. What is the current feelings for Rishab? I don't know if I'm saying his name. Let's find out. What are his current feelings? All right. Meenakshi Sodam. I don't know how to say your name, but we're going to find out. Current feelings. Current feelings. All right, let's find out. Current feelings. Well, you know, Five of Pentacles. I feel as if, you know, he doesn't really have any feelings. You know, I think he's really kind of moved on. You know, because Five of Pentacles is feeling like you're lonely and, you know, and I think, you know, he's kind of Justice card. You know, I think he's kind of done. And we have the Three of Swords. Yes, there is other people involved. So, you know, I think, you know, to be involved with this person, Meenakshi, you know, is to be very alone in a relationship that, you know, he's got someone else as well. So, yeah, there is another person. Is it the end? Three of Swords can say, yes, it's definitely the end. And it's going to hurt. I think it's really over. All right, listen, you guys, I am going to go on my way and start my weekend. It was really great. I've been on here quite a while. Thank you, all of you, for being in. Like I said, I'll probably be back on Monday. And we'll do a weekly read for everyone. And then once we do the read, then I'll come back and we'll answer questions again. All right. So until then, you guys have a really amazing weekend. Wherever you are, just enjoy yourself. Be happy, be healthy, be kind. And I will see you at the next reading. Again, many thanks to my new subscribers for the likes, the shares, the comments, all of it. Really appreciate it. All right. And I'll see you at the next reading. Until then, be well. Bye now.